Hey guys, welcome to my first live for this year. Today, as I mentioned in my stories and in my posts, I'm going to be making the 3D floral butterfly. So in this design, I've combined the monarch butterfly and some of my paper flowers, and basically it is now available as like a bundle, so you can get the half butterfly and all these flowers into one. But if you've been with me for a while, and if you have been using my templates, then you might have some of these, most of these. So hopefully one way or another, if you want to recreate this, you'll be able to do so, either by purchasing the template bundle or individually the butterflies, flowers, etc. So I'm going to set this aside for now, and before I start, I am going to keep it close by though, because I'm going to use it as a reference to try to recreate, a similar design. But of course, because it's handmade, it's never, that's the beauty of it, right? It's never the same. Every piece is unique. So yeah, this is the paper that I use, obviously like different colors, but you can recreate this design with any color scheme that you like. But I use 65-pound cardstock or 176 GSM. That's the thickness of the paper. Shout out to Michaels, by the way, for really like expanding their paper collection. Like these 12 by 12 packets are really coming in handy for me right now, and I love seeing more and more colors every time I go there. So but of course this design is pretty small. As you guys can see, the pieces are small, some of them at least, and so you can recreate this with 8.5 by 11-inch paper as well, which is their standard paper. Anyway, so since we're talking about details and really small pieces, always be sure to double check that your mat is sticky. If you're using a cutting machine, and I would advise that you do, depending on how, experience you have with hand cutting, it is possible, but for best results, use a cutting machine. And since some of these pieces are small, dainty, have details, again, I will double check that your mat is sticky, that your blade is sharp, and yeah, if your mat is not sticky, clean it out, try to clean it out, but I have found that at some point you do have to change your mats. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start with actually painting some of the flowers, and of course you can use whatever you want, but I'm going to use some watercolor, and ink is another thing that comes to mind, but I like to use watercolor. I like that it sort of adds some texture to the paper, it buckles the paper. So the first thing that I do usually with watercolor is I just get the paper or the petals wet, and then I go in and I get some actual paint, some pigment. Oh, hi Sam, I'm just looking at your waves, guys. Hi. It's been a while since I've done a live, so I'm excited to be back, and I'm excited to see some familiar faces. So yeah, I just add, focusing towards like the center, but this will be a multi-layered flower, so you could skip painting all the layers, and you could just paint the top layer, which is going to be like the smallest one, but you will still be able to see. Let me go back and reference my finished piece here. So this is what we're making right now. So you will be able to see a little bit of the petals since the layers keep getting smaller and smaller. So that's why I like to do all of them, but there's been cases where I've done just the top, and that's fine too. So as you can see, there's like a little bit, actually, I hope you guys can see okay, but here. There was some paint already on my paintbrush, so I'm just rolling with it. Of course, you could skip painting as well. This step is optional. And again, I'm focusing in the middle, making the middle darker. And so I go back and grab some more paint and add some more in the middle. And you can always spread it out by just getting some water on your paintbrush and going back and forth. So I'll let these dry. I'm gonna continue with, which ones do I wanna do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna do these two. So these are a little bit lighter in color. So I'm going to use actually an orange. And again, I'm focusing on the center. You could focus on the outside of the petals. Kind of just dabbing color and water. I'm seeing some new faces too. Hey guys. So it doesn't have to be too exact, kind of let the water sort of do half of the work. And gravity, of course. And as you can see, it already like starts to bend the paper, warp the paper. And once it dries, we are going to go back and shape the flowers and the petals. But for now, I'm just letting them dry as is. And there is, what else? Oh yeah, the sunflowers. Now for the sunflowers, I like to do like lines, thin lines. So I'm gonna grab another brush that has like a finer tip to allow for those details. These are actually like half sunflowers. And pull this up a little bit. I'm going to use the orange for this one as well. And this time I'm not, since I'm doing like details, I'm not getting the flower wet first. Instead, I am just going to work on dry paper. But I did get my, you guys can't see, but I have this like huge, what's it called? Mason jar with water. So that's where I'm dipping my paintbrush, in case you're not familiar with watercolor. And I'm gonna sit now because so far I've been standing to be able to sort of like look at your comments and the chat, but I'm gonna sit now for the rest of this live. And so if you have questions, just add them to the chat. I will periodically check the chat for any questions. But again, if you just joined, I'm using paper, 65-pound cardstock paper to make this. So, right. Now the lines don't have to be straight or anything like that. On the contrary, you know, the more imperfect they are, the better. Let me just get my mason jar a little bit closer. And you will see that if you're using watercolor, some lines will be like lighter, some darker, depending on how much water and how much pigment you're using. And And that's another thing that I like about watercolor. Creates a nice variation. Now, of course, if you don't like it, you can always go back, get more pigment, more paint, and then add those brighter lights. But I like the variation of soft and bright hues. But yeah, I just add like a couple of lines, 2 to 3, and then move on to the next. They don't have to be the same length, they don't have to be the same, you know, width. Just try to go like with the shape of the petal itself. And as always, this step is skippable, like it's optional. But it does add depth, I think, to the flowers. So I like doing it. Let's see. You can also do this with the marker. I'm thinking about it. Oops. Whatever medium I'm comfortable with. Two more. Eventually I'm gonna make, what is it, 2 or 3? 3 sunflowers, so 2 petal layers per flower is what I'm gonna be using. Like I was mentioning earlier, the template is my own. These flowers are available on my Etsy shop individually, but also as a bundle. So the bundle includes the half butterfly and also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of flowers. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yep, and then 2 different types of leaves, the centers of course, and it comes as an SVG, which you can modify, meaning like you can alter the size, you can scale it up or scale it down without compromising the quality of the design. But if you use the design as is, it will create it's like a 10 by 6 inch design, like this. So, alright, so right now we have all of the petals that I wanted to paint. We have those painted. So what I'm gonna do now is I can see that these are almost dry, but I gotta let them all dry. And as I do that, I'm going to shape the center. Actually, no, let me shape these petals first, because I'm gonna use, for these, I'm gonna use the scoring tool, the scoring pen. And since I'm up here, I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Oh, so many people. Hi everybody. So yeah, for the daisies, I'm just gonna add some texture with a scoring pen or scoring stylus. All my tools, by the way, are available in my Amazon storefront. The link is in my bio. So I'm just adding lines like I did with the sunflowers, just like 2 to 3 lines per petal. Doesn't have to be perfect. They don't have to be evenly spaced or anything like that. Just a couple of lines, and that's it. And even though it's a small detail, I think it really adds something. Et je ne sais quoi. Okay, it's all about the details, right? So I'm a firm believer in that. So I'm eventually going to make 2 daisies. So I'm going to double up the petals on the big daisy, and the small daisy is going to have a single layer. Okay. Oh, there is one more step that I want to do with these daisies, and that is curving the petals. So I'm going to use you can use a skewer, wooden dowel. Again, my tools are listed in my bio. There's a link called Amazon Storefront. And you can find, the paper that I use, the machine, all the different tools that you see today. I mean, even my desk. I think I have everything listed on there. And so I'm going to use a bigger wooden dowel since I'm now working with slightly bigger petals. Okay. Now I'm going to finish. Oh, I have one more. And then I have one more flower to work with before I move on to the centers. And now I'm gonna bring in my mat, my foam mat. You can, like, if you don't have a foam mat, I mean, any type of foam would work, like even the packaging foam, or you can layer like felt, a couple layers of felt. And so now I'm gonna bring in my smallest flowers, and I'm gonna use my ball stylus. So I went from the scoring stylus to now the ball stylus, and I'm going to just use some circular motion to create some dimension, like so. Very easy. So now we can move on to the centers, and I'm going to use the same sort of technique and tools to shape the center, because right now it's basically just flat, and I want to bring up the edges. So I'm going to use the ball stylus to do that. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna go in circular motion, but I'm going to try to stay, you know, around the edges. Of the center. Like so. So this is the daisy center, and then the brown one is the sunflower center. Oops. Okay. So yeah, it's very subtle, but it makes a difference, and it's worth spending the time to do it. I think for the smaller one, I want to use a smaller ball stylus. So give me a second. I'll try with this one. Let's accentuate a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Okay. So now we are at the point where I need to drink some water. Check the chat real quick. Cool. Hi, Kellys. Okay, cool. All right, so like I mentioned before, if you guys do have questions, just drop them in the chat and I will answer them in the end, or you know, I'm periodically looking at the chat basically, but I'm not looking at it all the time. So yeah, the paper is dry, so I can start shaping it. I basically want these petals to be like going down, outward and down, but I also want to add a little bit of like dimension. It's always about the dimension. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a little slit, like 1/2 inch or so, and then I'm going to use the wooden dowel, or you could use a bone folder. And again, I'm imagining, right, that the petals are gonna go outward and down, like so. So now I'm going to, well actually let me do the other layers and then I will glue it to kind of do it in one take. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the smaller layers. Cut a small slit and then curl the petals upward and downward. Okay. Now, because these are like smaller, the slit also becomes smaller. Basically you want to cut a slit until you reach the midpoint, the middle of, or the center of the flower, and that's it. And then as you're working with the smaller petals, the smaller layers, you want to be a bit more gentle when you're going to curl the petals so as not to break them. How funny would it be if one of my layers broke just now? Oh. But you know, it happens. That's why it's a good idea to have like extra petals. That's why I always save those scraps, those paper scraps. You know, I make fun of myself for like not being able to let go of paper scraps, but I mean, you never know when you need an extra petal, an extra something, an extra component. So all right, now I'm gonna start gluing the petal layers to make a 3D shape, and basically the way I'm going to do that is just by overlapping two of the petals like so, and once they're overlapped you let go, put some glue here on the petal that goes underneath, and then re-overlap them. And I'm using the Barely Arts precision glue, the craft glue, with the extra fine tip for some extra precision. So you add some glue, and then because we already like overlapped them, the paper has memory, and so it's a lot easier for it to go back. Where is it? There we go. Okay, so now we're gonna repeat the same thing. Oh. First, go ahead and overlap them, then put the glue on the petal that goes underneath, and then re-overlap them. And with this glue, you need a couple of seconds. You need to hold on or hold it down so that the glue has time to dry a bit and adhere, but then you can let go. But yeah, one thing, if you are working with watercolor, one thing that you will notice is that once the paper dries and once the color dries, it won't be as vivid. So it's totally fine to like add a second coat of watercolor that also adds even more dimension. You could play around with different like shades of the same color, or you can just go with the airy, watery feel of watercolor that watercolor naturally has, right? Very fluid. The fluidity of watercolor, I think, is something that I like. The unpredictability of this medium is fun. Okay, so I have one more layer. Oops. So as you can see, I'm still like shaping the petals as I'm like gluing it, and always using my hands to form the petals. But so the way that this is designed is that this will all be one. Make sure that I have the right size. Yep, and then this will be like its own thing. So I'm gonna add glue in the very, very center here. Then I'm gonna place the second layer, and I'm gonna use my wooden dowel to hold it down so that it adheres. And again, because we're using the craft glue, you want to give it a couple of seconds to, dry. If you're in a rush, you could use hot glue as well. But because this is a small flower and there's really no weight to it, I mean, it's gonna just sit like this. It will have the ability to dry. So it is doable with craft glue. Maybe I'll put a little bit here too. Place it on top and push down. And hold. And as you can see, I'm not like alternating the petals. All the layers are all the layers of the petals are staying in the same direction. It also helps when you're working on this to be like on top of the flower. And I feel like because I'm trying to let the camera be on top, I'm a bit skewed. So I have to do this to look at the flower directly to make sure I center the petals. And we have our first flower assembled. Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh, I guess our first flower is assembled because this is the first flower. Only one layer. Can I let go now? Okay, second flower is done. Oh, one thing that I forgot to do is with the sunflowers. Well, I guess I didn't forget to do because I was letting the petals dry, but now we're gonna shape the petals. So I'm gonna use a wooden dowel, and I'm alternating. I mean, some of them fold or curling them to the right and down, some of them to the left and down, just to have more variety. So yeah, this is a project that it's fun to do because you get to build different flowers. It's not really the kind of like, it's not too repetitive because each flower has, you know, its own details, its own elements. And so that's why I think this is a fun project for like a girls' night or a family craft night, but of course a solo craft night as well. But definitely like take your time with it, enjoy every step. And I say this for really all of my crafting projects. It's about the process just as much as it is about the end results. If you don't enjoy the process, then most likely you will not enjoy the end results. But allow yourself to really take in all the steps, everything that you do, you know, enjoy it. All right. Now I do also plan to make some DIY kits with this design. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. And by DIY kit, I mean basically you get all the pre-cut components, and then you shape the flowers, you put them together. I don't have one yet though, but if there is interest, I will consider creating some DIY kits. So let's see where we are. basically now I can put together the sunflowers. And hold on, let me look at my reference here. So I have 3 sunflowers, 2 of the small ones, and then I guess this is like the medium one, and this is the bigger one. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna place these 2 layers on top, but then I want to make sure that you can see, you know, the petals underneath as well. So move as needed, adjust as needed. Okay. And here we are. Let's see. Oh, cool! You guys are still here. All right. Oops. Cool. So, this is the big one for sure, and this is the small one, or the like second. Okay. All right. So I had basically 2 circles for each center, and because each flower is like a different size, slightly different size, I had to double check to make sure that I put the correct center on each flower. Here's the first one, really cute, if I do say so myself. But yeah, because the flowers are gonna be pretty much overlapping with one another, that's how this half sunflower was born. Although I used the half sunflower in a lot of other designs, as you guys know, or may know if you are, you know, if you've been with me for a while. But yeah. Okay, so I have my sunflowers ready. I'm gonna go to the daisies, and like I said, the bigger daisy will have 2 layers, and same technique, I'm gonna try to also show the petals of the bottom layer. And for this one just has 1 layer, so nothing to do there. It's ready for the center. Okay. I love putting all the pieces together, and especially, like I was saying, this design has so many different pieces. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. This is my second time putting this together, and I can't wait to do more. Alright, so I have the daisies. This like white peony, I was gonna do 2, right? Yeah, 2. I did want to shape this a little bit, so let me bring in my foam mat. I do want to give them a little bit more roundness, so I'm going to go back to my ball stylus. Just around it like that. Okay. So I'm gonna put 2 layers for one of the flowers, the bigger one. And 1 layer for the smaller one. Now I'm gonna add something in the center here. I got these pens from Michael's, the Cricut calligraphy, the golden calligraphy pens. And I'm gonna use them just to give some detail to the center. Hold on, because you're gonna see probably my head now coming in, because I want to make sure it's the center. I'm just adding some dots. Like so. Maybe a little bit more. Just a few more. Okay, that's good. It's just a small detail, but you know, you need something in the center there. Okay, so now, oh yeah, this one also doubles up. But this one doesn't have a center. This one is just a simple little star flower. I thought it was cute. But you know what? I could add. Why not? Let's add maybe some like little circles. Some dots. Why not have fun? There we go. Okay. Get a little bit more round again. All right. Okay, so now I'm done with the flowers. So now I can do the butterfly. I'm gonna put together the butterfly. So I'm gonna just scoot these guys over a bit. There. Go right there. Okay, so these are the butterfly layers. There are 3. And let me make sure. So this is the bottom layer. It's all, you know, it has no detail. And then this is the second. And then the white comes with basically also the other side of the butterfly. And the reason why is because this is where you're gonna attach the flowers and leaves, and it kind of helps you keep it kind of helps you stay within the outline, right? So that you can create the same shape on this side. That is the reasoning. And then this will be the top layer. So I'm just overlapping them to make sure that I have them in the correct side. Now, of course, I'm gonna use some glue, but that's gonna be the design. I'm gonna continue to use the the craft glue. And I'm going to work relatively quick if you're using the super fine tip so that the glue doesn't dry. And then just go for it. Of course I have to like grab it now and like shift, make any shifts and adjustments. So that we can have a seamless butterfly. If there's any glue that like comes through, you know, I guess speak for this glue, it does dry clear. The Barely Arts glue. Oh, for a second I got scared. Okay, I thought I had the wrong layer. But yeah. So now we're gonna do this one, the white one. And again, I like to like juxtapose or just like place the layer first without any glue, and then glue it. Don't necessarily have to have glue like in every like single like detail there, but the outside matters. Oops. By outside I mean like around here, like around the perimeter of the design. Okay, now we have our last layer. There it is. That's how it's gonna go. Okay. Again, try to work as quick as possible because you don't want the glue to dry. And since this glue dries clear, for me, I don't have to worry about being too careful. If it seeps through, it's not a big deal. Definitely want to get the sides, corners, like the outside. Okay, I think I got it. Yay. So here we have our beautiful monarch butterfly. Add a little bit of glue here. So you guys can see, you can see the different color variations. I love the little like white detail around. And now we have again this side we have it so that we can put the flowers. Okay. So basically this is the final part, right? And I'm just removing some dried up pieces of glue. And let's see. I like to, again, the first time I kind of like to just place the flowers without any glue, just to I don't know, create like an idea of where I want the flowers to go, I guess. I'm gonna go there. This is gonna go like here somewhere. One of these is gonna go here. The other daisy is gonna go somewhere here. And of course the idea is to like cover the white. So for example, I don't want to have my daisy like this. I want to have it out so that you can see the petals and not the white paper. Let's see, where does this go? Oh, I guess this goes here somewhere. And then this guy goes here. Oh wait. It's easier to put in the flat flowers first, which for me are the daisies and the sunflowers, and then these more like dimensional. So this goes here somewhere. And I'm not sure about this one yet. Why does it feel like why does it feel like I don't have enough flowers? Oh, it's because I don't have the leaves. Of course. Okay. So this will go somewhere here. This will go somewhere here, I guess. Oh, this is way too much. There we go. This could also be like this. Like that. Okay, let me add some leaves now because it needs to feel a little bit more full. Oh, and I guess now that I'm thinking about it, okay, so I plan to put this on a white background. Like, let me show you. So in that sense, it doesn't really matter, like, if you can see the white or not, because that was the whole point. I made it white so that it would blend in with my background or backdrop. But this here, oh yeah, this goes here. And again, this is my only my second time putting this together, so I definitely need to do this without glue first. This goes somewhere here. Yup. And that goes there. This will go somewhere here. So yeah, it also helps to put the leaves in first, but I don't know. I have not decided which method I like first. Whether it is to put the leaves in first or last. Okay, I have one more leaf, and that's gonna go obviously up here. Somewhere. Like that. Yep, and that's it. Now, of course, I have to do this with the glue. But I think I'm gonna, just so that I can visualize better the end result, which, like I said, is gonna be on a white background. I'm gonna remove this. Okay. So, let's do this. I'm gonna start with this one here. You know what? I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna go with the leaves first. First piece is glued, and now I'm gonna put this on top. It's gonna be like this. No, it's gonna be like this. Okay. And it probably looks very like jumbled right now, but I mean, what can I say, guys? This is my process. You do this as in any way you want. I think that's where it's supposed to go. Yeah, okay. And again, that's the beauty of this sort of design. Paper flowers in general, that, but handmade, let's say. Handmade designs that you don't really get, like each one is unique. You can't get two that are the same, which I think is very cool. Okay, so this is gonna go right there. Oh wow, there's so many people. Hello, many people. Hello. So hopefully these lives are gonna be a weekly thing. That's my plan. And so hopefully I'll see you guys again next Friday. Because there's some people that I don't really know. But you know, it's been a while since I've gone live. Okay. Let's see what's next. Was it this one? Oh, I'm gonna put this. The leaves. Oh yeah, I didn't really do anything with the leaves, but I guess if you wanted to, you could also, you know, add some dimension to the leaves, either by painting them or just by, you know, curling them a bit upward with my, I'm using my wooden dowel. So now, yeah, now it's looking a little bit like it stands out a bit more. Okay, and I was gonna put this flower here. And you know, it's okay too to put a flower down and then, you know, remove it. You know, you're going to be covering it with something else anyway, so even if the paper rips in the back a bit, that's okay. No one will know. Alright, so next I'm going to put... Actually, no, I'm going to fill the middle in a little bit more. Actually, no. Change my mind again. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to finish this part. So, am I ready to put this one in yet? No. I'm gonna do this one. Remember how I said it's easier to put in your flat flowers first, and then the ones that sit up high a bit more, like this one, I'm gonna put those like last so that they can go on top. It's more natural that way. Let's do it right here. And so yeah. That fills that spot in perfectly. This one is, I guess, a bit tricky to glue because it doesn't have like a flat surface, so take your time with this one. Once you place it, use like some kind of tool to press just the middle. so that it glues right and it stays in this position. I think that's good. Okay, next, I think I'm ready to commit to the big daisy. Although I should have put it in first, but I can still slide it. I can still slide it, yep. All right, let's do it. There we go. Now, what did I have? Oh, that's right. This little guy, it's gonna go up here. I also have to put this leaf here, but I'm gonna wait. What is next? Oh yeah, the small daisy. And then this one. What about the little one? Oh, I don't know. Oh, but I have a leaf here. Okay, let me do the leaf first. The leaf's gonna be something like this. Let me give the leaf some dimension too. Again, be very careful when you are working with small dainty pieces such as this one. You don't want to pull too much if you're curling it, because you know it might break. So as you can see, I'm holding down each individual leaf and then curling it. It is cardstock, and you know it is paper, so okay, that's looking pretty. I think I want to put it like here. Like that. Something like that. Okay. Oh no, actually I want to put this. And I'm thinking, I mean, like I said, like this is only my second time. This is a new template, a new design. So it's only my second time assembling it, but you know, it'd be okay if you wanted to add more flowers, you know, another one of these. You can cut another one of these, because sometimes you're creating, like when each piece you're creating it's new. It's something that did not exist before. So if, like I try to provide, you know, measurements and like a formula, so to speak, but in the end, you know, it's art. So you also want to, like, it's okay to go out of the formula, or you know, follow your flow. Anyways, so I think that this will be good here. Oh yeah, in my last one I also added some tiny butterflies. Yeah, that was cute. See, I can't. Yeah, that was so cute that I added that. It's not part of the template. It was just something that I had, like I've been making kits, and something that I had. So yeah. So the last leaf is gonna go there, or let's see. I feel like this side doesn't have much foliage. There's that one, but perhaps one more right there? Sure, why not? Let's do it. And again, ideally, I think you want to put the leaves in first, but it's okay. You can also go in last. So there it is, guys. Oops. Now this will go in a shadow box. This can really also go in a like a canvas. Hold on. I ordered these canvases from Amazon. I don't know if they're linked in my Amazon storefront. I think they are, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to double check. But this is also something else that you can use. Instead of a shadow box, it can be a canvas. You could add like some kind of text down here, personalize it with the name or with the quote. Like I really want to do like bloom or something like that. Oh, gracias, Zara. But yeah, this is really cool because you can personalize it. Like I said, I mean, I chose the oranges, the yellows, and the browns as a color palette, but all pinks would be so pretty. All white, oh my gosh, all white would be gorgeous. Gold, I mean, anything really. You can personalize it to the recipient's favorite color or room theme. I mean, color theme, you know what I mean. Your house can have a theme, a color theme, you know. Anyways, so I hope you enjoyed this live. Just to show you, if you just joined, this is like another thing you can do with it. So you can put it in a shadow box. You can scale this up, make it bigger. But see how like each one is unique. So this is the second one that I made. This is the first one. And even though it's the same template, like unique. So cool. Alright guys, well thank you so much again for watching. This template is available as a bundle. It's linked in my stories actually right now. Or you can go to my bio and check out my Etsy shop, or you can just search Floral Flare Studio on Etsy, whatever you like. And this template does come with a commercial license, so if you're a small business, you can create, and sell physical products that you make with this template. So, hope to see you guys again next Friday. The time will either be 10 p.m. or maybe a little bit earlier. I don't know, but follow me if you don't, and I will definitely keep you guys posted. Thank you so much again. Gracias. Merci. All that good stuff. Bye, guys.